welcome to the show. I'm Jacquelene. You're on A1R Psychic Radio and Moonstruck TV. And this week we're talking about the Hermit card in the tarot. And I'm wearing no makeup because why not? Sort of today is the anti-makeup day. I've decided to just not do that. I think we need to do that more as women instead of being sort of dictated to by maybe it's Maybelline. No, maybe it's contouring. All right, so talking about contouring and exfoliation of the soul. The Hermit card, if you sort of look at it, one of my faves. Ooh, there you go. Oh, look, it's in shot. No, it's not. Okay. So you see the cape there. I think every maid should have a cape, for cosplay purposes, if nothing else. But if we look at the symbology of the Hermit card, what are we doing? The Hermit card is like going within. It's also number 9. So I've written 9 on that card, which is probably sacrilege. I don't care. Well, I do care, but anyway, let's not get into that. So if we look at hermiting away, we're looking at going within, sort of stepping back, and the cloak sort of symbolises that sense of, protection, because you're protected from the weather. Also, you can't quite tell whether he's a size 6 or 8 and whether he's going to be body shamed, can we? Because, that cloak's hiding that too. So it's sort of like this ability to sort of go within and not be kind of quite so out there, open to other people's perceptions and really caring about them anyway, going your own way. See that staff he's carrying? It's sort of like meditatively walking through life or through the situation. So the staff is also great for tapping the ground to make sure it's solid before you walk there. And if it's not solid, you can use that stick to kind of, put it somewhere and like steady yourself. Or you could possibly hit people with it. I don't know about you, but the old saying, do not follow me for I shall not feed. Do not lead because I shall not follow. Walk beside me. And I would sort of add to that, don't walk beside me for too long because the path's rather narrow and I don't have time for this. So, if you're going into an introverted space, it's sort of like, look, I showed you the way. See the lantern he's carrying? I showed you the way. I've helped you find, which sort of path you need to go to, turn right, turn left, go straight ahead, do U-turn, whichever. And now I'm going on my way. And if you sort of think of that light as the lantern that lights the way, it's sort of like, where's the light at the end of the tunnel, this sort of thing. So sometimes that hermiting can actually be released, just, space myself. But for some people, it's like, I feel so alone in this. It's, being comfortable being with yourself is really important. And I don't really call it being alone because you're with yourself, aren't you? I mean, if you're with yourself, that's someone pretty cool. At least you should see it as that. And if you don't, well, what do you need to do to change that feeling towards yourself? But that lantern is kind of funny as well because sometimes people get drawn to light. And if we sort of imagine it as the porch light on out at night, and what does it attract? Thingy bitey things sometimes. So, sometimes people think you are the light they're meant to go to. And so if you're sort of new to the spiritual journey and you're opening up and you're comping people that have, they're in the in-between. They haven't quite reached the other side completely yet. They're sort of limboing around like, hey, where am I? What's this place? It's like, this is not the light you're meant to go to. So, carrying light yourself is important and, shining that out. And in some ways, the hermit is also about helping people see that light and then go on their way. So we're maybe pathfinding and path sharing with them, but then we're saying, all right, well, see ya. Bye. A 9 life path person or a 9-day birth, a 27-9 or a 9-day birth or an 18-day birth, 18 is the moon, that's another story. And we'll get into that later. But when we're looking at that 9 to do with the day of birth, a year number you're in, or your life path number being 9, you are dealing with that retreat. And the way that 9 was drawn was as the head with the tail. So bringing that right up, it's backwards. But anyway, dyslexic will get it. I'm dyslexic, so I can still read it backwards or front. But you sort of see the head in sort of the fetal position is that drawing down. And there are 9 months in the pregnancy out there. So you sort of think of what new way forward are you gestating or going to birth? Are you taking that time out to really reflect? And of course, we've just passed the winter solstice in Australia, the summer solstice in the Northern Hemisphere. So winter solstice is really that time of drawing in, reflecting, not necessarily being out so much with people, taking your own time and working on letting go of a lot of the past stuff and deciding what's going to come forward with you into that next spring, into that next seasons of abundance and being out there and shining. So you can also see elements of the crone in that hermit card. And so that's, the three stages of womanhood. We've got the maiden, the mother and the crone. And the maiden's sort of out there and she's disco dancing and, just having a great time and being kind of light and fluffy. Then we've got the mother, which is all that nurturing kind of phase of life. And then the crone. Now, some women, they're born crones. Usually you'll see a lot of ravens or crows around them, by the way. But anyway, that's another story. So a 9 year, it's like we go from numerological personal year number 1 through 9, and then we start a new cycle. And then you've even got things like pinnacles and things like that in the chart numerologically. If you look at the 9th house in the zodiac, we're dealing with Sagittarius, we're dealing with that desire for freedom, space, movement, travel, but also, having your own space and time here, and, don't pin me down kind of energy. And so there's sort of a spirituality in that. And when I look at the 3 symbols of fire, for example, so you take Aries, that's the bushfire. It's like, where am I going? I don't know. There's a lot of force though. Leo is the campfire. Everyone gravitates towards it and comes around it in a community feeling, a feeling of family. And of course, the sun is the planet to do with, Leo. So it's literally all the planets orbit around it. With Aries, of course, it's Mars. So we sort of think of Mars going out to war and being a little bit impatient, to say the least. Never tell an Aries to be patient. It's probably a death sentence. Maybe not so with you. Sagittarius, though, is actually a candle flame. So in the candle flame, you can actually usually see a multitude of colours, not just, oh, look, fire, oh, hot. You can get the purples, the blues, the pinks, the golds, and that just a little bit of red. And if you're like me and doing some meditation, you'll find that flame can just start really, being quite long, and it's like, what the hell's happening then? And you start to see sort of images in the flame. And then the other candle next to it will be just like, yeah, I'm just a flame. It's just this big, right? The other one is like, ooh, going for a journey here. So when we think of 9, it is that journey within, the flickering flame of illumination within, the spark of inspiration, all of these sorts of things. And we can't be out there burning brightly 24 hours a day, 365 days a year. There is just this time and need to kind of just chill a bit. And so if you're in a 9 year, you can find the heart and head, oh, I don't know what I'm doing, and just that need to slow down, go within, walk meditatively instead of trying to run a marathon, and just pace yourself, pace your energy, pace your emotions, be around people that actually are nurturing, and take time out from people. Just generally, you might need time out, even from people you really like. You might just need that time out to kind of just, get yourself back to you. And that's a very important part of our journey spiritually. So if you're going for a 9 year, it's a time of sorting wheat from chaff, if you think about it. It's a time of working out what stays, what goes. That can be all sorts of things to do with people, to do with events, to do with what we're doing, habits within ourselves even. How often do you take the time to look at maybe picking a habit each year, start a year and go, all right, well, I want to change that, I want to improve that, or I want to, I'm happy with these parts, but this part here, I just want to, give that a bit more work. That sort of reflection is really helpful. Sometimes we can reflect a bit too much by taking on too much responsibility for how others are acting towards us. How they act towards us is their karma, dharma, or otherwise. It's how we respond that is up to us, and is a sign of our maturity, or maybe need to go. That's why the going within is important, because you get to sit with your feelings and actually go, am I really okay with that? Yeah, all good stuff to look at. I'm going to be back next week talking about the Wheel of Fortune card. Ding, ding. I might do that from Town Casino. I am joking. In the meantime, I'm going to have a great week. I hope you do too. And I'm going to be at Jacquelene Psychic and Wellbeing Expo on Sunday, the 3rd of July. I'll be on stage and in person doing one-to-ones. And in the meantime, catch you next week. Lots of love to you all. See you later for now. More shows on A1R Psychic Radio, Moonstruck TV for the rest of this evening, afternoon or morning, depending on where the world you are.